project. Okay, so can we like take some non-tech questions? Yes. Now it's time for a non-tech, maybe a startup, maybe a business or something. Yes. So anyone who is having any kind of a question with respect to a non-tech, with respect to these things, so please try to start. So yes, guys, I'm just waiting for your like comments. Okay, so Sriman has asked me a question today that can we talk about networking, entrepreneurship, AI startup, freelancing, and last but not the least, आपके तरफ से motivations. Okay, ठीक है, सब मिलेगा. Okay, so how to start a business? Okay, direct question: how to start a business? And like we used to do so many homework. I'll talk about it, right? Okay, so step by step, one by one. So I think we can move, right? First of all, how to build a network, right? How to build a network, and what and all different kind of advantages you will be able to get. You all will be able to get out of a network. Let's try to talk about that first of all, right? Because this part is very important. Even as a fresher, or maybe as an entrepreneur, right? As a senior person. So yes, in like a networking is a real thing, and it helps a lot. Believe me, right? But again, when you will start doing a networking, so in business, always you will be able to find out, and you will meet with a nine maybe a bad people and one good people. And I think this ratio is not even 1%. So maybe out of 1,000, 999 people will be a bad in business. I'm talking about not in a professional life. Professional life, you will be able to find out many good people, but I'm talking about a business, right? So one good and then 999 bad. So you are supposed to avoid that kind of a networking always, right? So you will find out people, you will find out a person who will just there to take an advantage, right? You should avoid that one. Now, how to do a networking? See, networking happens in a multiple way. There is no fixed rule for a networking. See, as of now, I'm just trying, I'm live, right? Even I'm doing a networking, so I'm trying to connect with all of you. So this is again one way of networking, which I'm trying to create, or which I'm trying to do. Another way is your professional network, LinkedIn. Another way is so you can help someone, and then for sure next time you will be able to get a help, or maybe you will be able to get an help from your connects, off connects, depends, because this is like a world is very small and we all are very much connected nowadays. So networking always plays a crucial role, right? If you are going to like a plan it, if you are going to market it in a better way, so as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as an experienced professional, so it helps us a lot in terms of getting a project, or maybe in terms of like doing anything. Okay, so thanks for like a super chat, VIZH3D. When you will be building a platform like Azure? Never. So it's already there, right? I think I've already answered your question. So okay. So networking is a real thing. It's and you all can start building it. That's like it's going to help you out. But don't waste your time. Many of us end up wasting a time while doing a networking. So try to identify a people. Is it going to help me, or maybe other? If not, leave it. Right? Yes, it's not like you should like get involved into a fight or something, right? Just leave it. Simple. And second thing is entrepreneurship, right? Many of us. How many of you, by the way, guys? How many of you are thinking of starting some sort of a startup? Anyone over here? I'll just wait for the response. Anyone who is like thinking of starting their own startup? Okay, so many, right? So many of you are thinking of starting their own startup. That's great. What is your plan? If anyone can try to discuss, like, what is your plan? What is the kind of a homework that you have done? What is your financial planning? What is your 1 year, 2 year, 3 year business plan? Right. Again, what is how you are planning to develop a team, or what kind of a product that you are going to like deliver in a market? What is like how many number of consumers that you have who will be able to consume things that you are trying to provide, right? So how you will try to build up a complete like a platform, or maybe how you will be able to make your business scalable. So what is your thought? First of all, you should think about it. And market to supply ratio. So whether, so it's like market to supply ratio means, so see whether there is a market for this specific thing or not, and when all competitors are available in this particular market. This is what you are supposed to analyze in a very first place. Let's suppose I'm trying to build a fancy things. It's completely fine. I can build it, right? But I have to think, see why AI is not that popular in a like a in our country. So there is a reason behind it, right? So, and again, so same thing, right? If I'll talk about France, if I'll talk about other European countries, so they have implemented AI even on the street, right, for surveillance. But we in India, so there are very few we have implemented, or we are thinking of even implementing it. A reason over here is a market, right? Supply is there, but there is no market. And sometimes market will be there, but maybe you will not be able to supply, because to supply something, you will have to like prepare yourself. You will have to build a business. You'll have to build a team. You will have to build a platform. You'll have to make it scalable. You have to build your marketing team. You have to build your sales team. You have to spend a lot on a regular basis, and then only you will be able to do that, right? So market and supply, is a biggest factor. Once you will be able to understand or identify that, okay, there is enough amount of market. Now try to understand that how much market I will be able to cater and how easily I will be able to reach out to that particular market. Let's suppose there is a huge market, right? We all know that everyone is using mobile phone. I'll give you one simple example over here. So we all know that everyone is using mobile phones, right? Shall I start like a manufacturing a mobile phone from today or tomorrow? My answer will be no, right? Because to manufacture one particular mobile phone, so we need a research, we need a huge manufacturing like a setup, right? And again, many things is required when we are thinking about developing these kind of things. We all know that consumers are like a consumer wise, you will be able to find out that whole India is your consumer, right? Everyone can consume this particular mobile phone, but still you will not start building a mobile phone. So there is a market, but we are not able to supply. There is a bottleneck, right? So for sure, I will not get into that business. I will try to get into a kind of a business which I will be able to deliver in a first place. And then maybe in a level 2 or level 3, so I'll plan for maybe like a this kind of things. But initially when I'm trying to start, I'll have to stabilize myself in a market financially. Because let me tell you, idea wise, if there is something good, it's completely fine, there is no issue, right? Let's suppose I'm able to deliver it on a day 1, on a day 2, again there is no issue, right? But are we able to deliver? Are we able to maintain a same quality for years and years? Are we able to give something new which is competitive in a market in future or today? So this is a place where you have to think. This is a place where you are supposed to understand your competitors, market strategy, plus yourself, that whether you have a capability or not, financially as well as in terms of a team. Again, let's suppose I have a finance, right? I have a fund, but maybe I don't have a strong team. That is again going to create a failure point, because without a team, without a strong team, you will not be able to do anything in this entire world. Believe me, doesn't matter how good you are, right? Alone you will be able to get a job, alone you will be able to switch into a new job, but alone you will not be able to run a company. When you're thinking about a company, when you're thinking about a startup, it's always people which comes into a picture, people to whom you're trying to serve, or people who is working with you, right? So you have to build a strong team who is having a similar kind of a mindset. And what I believe is, I always I never like a talented people, right? I always like a hardworking people. Believe me, this is my own perspective, right? So if there is someone who is very talented, it's completely fine, I don't care about it. But if there are a person who is really a hardworking person, right, I always like that kind of a person, because I know that today there is a person who is having some sort of a talent in some area, right? But maybe tomorrow, if that person is not going to adopt a new things, right, for sure it's of no use, and his talent will be gone, her talent will be gone. But if there is a hardworking person, and if they will keep on working in this way, right, you can't, or that particular person, so him or her is not going to be an outdated one. So this is what I always try to see, or this is what I always believe. So you have, so I was talking about entrepreneurship, I was talking about the startup, right? So whenever you're trying to build a startup, market to demand ratio, market to supply ratio, always think about it. Is a kind of a chunk of the market you will be able to get. Second, competitors. It's easy. It's easy to compete with anyone. Believe me, it's easy to compete with anyone. Not on day 1, not on day 2, maybe on day 3. It's easy to compete if you are able to like establish yourself. You will see many startup which comes and then they will go in some time. What is the reason? The reason behind those startup is maybe they are not able to stabilize themselves. Maybe they are not able to like execute all the plans, business plans that they have created. And in a back end, if you will see, so it's a team who has failed. Maybe it's a person who has failed, or maybe it's a finance, because of that they're not able to implement it. So always things in this direction: market, supply, a team, and again like your consumers, competitors, and then try to do a homework before starting ahead with your own startup, right? So try to work on all these things. And in my last video, I have clearly mentioned that it takes nothing. Literally, it takes nothing to become a CEO, or maybe a founder, or maybe a director of your own company. You just have to do one thing, right? Fill a form, right? And nowadays everything is digitalized, so even not you don't have to even fill a form, like you don't have to even write anything. Digitally fill a form, or maybe hire a CA, right? I have another startup as well, which is the first point, right? So hire a CA and just ask them to register a company. So they will ask you, okay, fine, so give me a 5 different name, and out of this 5 names, so yes, 1 2 3 4 priority wise, you can give 5 names. They will register you under MCA portal. You will be able to get a name approval within 24 hours, 26 hours, 48 hours. Then you will be incorporated. You will be able to get a certificate from like a and then you can you will become a director, you will become a CEO, or whatever you want. So yes, for sure you have to give a paid up capital. So paid up capital can be 1 lakh, 10 lakh, depends upon the kind of a company that you are going to start, right? So you have to like arrange a paid up capital, and then it's completely fine. You can kick off your own startup and you can become a CEO just within a day, right? Just within a day you can become a CEO. But that is not a real thing. That is just an illusion, right? That is not a real thing. So now you become a CEO, but if you are not able to generate a revenue, if you are not able to build a team, if you are not able to get a market, right? If you are not able to make your organization as a scalable one, it's a complete failure. And it is going to affect not just you, your family member, your friends, everyone, right? So what I advise to all, and again, there is no classes. There are like people says that I've seen many advertisements. So people say that there is a like a classes for a classes for how to build a startup, or maybe for this things, that thing, classes are available. I will teach you how to build a startup. I'll teach you how to this, how to do that, how to do networking. Believe me, there is no class exists in this entire world which will teach you how to run a startup. Not even a top IIMs or any IITs or any other institute or any other organization. It's like every startup, if you'll be able to see, every startup is having its own story, right? Its own line and length, and everything works in a different way in a different companies. Nothing is going to be same. So it doesn't matter like what person is going to teach you, but again, that is not going to be a applicable one, right? So there is no classes you will be able to find out. It's all about a hardcore experience. So what I suggest to our people is try to work with someone who have already done this kind of a things. Don't try to take a classes. You're asking me for advice. I can give you advice, right? But at the same point of a time, that advice will be applicable on you. There is no guarantee I will be able to give. Believe me, I myself will not be able to give you a guarantee that whatever I have done is going to work for you. No, not at all, right? Same thing is not going to work for you. My situation was different. My environment was different. My team was different. My capital was different, right? My market was different. My consumers was different. My supply was different. My dedication was different. So my situation is different and yours is different. So whenever you are thinking of building some of the startup, my advice to you will be work with someone at least for 6 months, right? Don't go for an MBA or something, because MBA never teaches you that how to build a startup. Never, right? MBA never teaches you this kind of things. Real life is going to teach you. So always try to find someone with whom you can work, right? Maybe as an assistant or as a something, right? As an employer, something with this perspective, with this mindset that I will learn how to run a startup, how to stabilize a startup, how to build a scalable system, and day and night. Believe me, a startup is not a 9 to 6 job. A startup means 24/7, and not for 1 day or 2 day, years and years. Yes. So just like keep on working in like this direction. Try to like a setup, and again, you will see lots and lots of ups and downs most of the time. So because of people, right? People who works with you, maybe from inside and from outside, so they will create a hurdles. You have to deal with even those things, and that's a real thing, right? You should not feel depressed. You should know how to handle a situation, because situation will be there. You should learn how to handle it, and you will be able to learn if you are working in parallel with someone at least for 6 months. This is what I have done. So before like starting ahead with my startup, right, for one and a half year. So because I was having a, believe me, I was having an insecurity that okay, what will happen? So I have a stable job as of now. I'm getting a regular salary, right? My package is good. My company is good. My profile is good. Everything is good, right? There's no problem. There's no issue. Everything is good. But if I leave all of those things, what if I will not be able to run? What if I will not be able to succeed? So there were so many fear factors, which was there and which is real as a human being. So we all feel in this way. So that's the reason I have decided that no, I'm not going to start a startup. There are people who have started a startup, and yes, it's a successful one, right? Without any kind of a homework or something, right? And again, you don't know like what happened in a background, right? So everyone is not going to tell you that what happened in a like a background. So yeah, we just like I have done my homework. I was running a franchisee, and then slowly and gradually I have taken my time. I have done my homework, and then I have started my own. So this is how like things happen. So that's the advice I keep on giving to all of like all of you, that try to do a homework first, right? You will be able to get a job easily, right? But it's not that easy to survive or to sustain or to scale up your own startup. That's the reason. So I have like there is a quote you will be able to find out by Javed Akhtar. असारों में तलखियां बनी बात ही थी जो हम पे है गुजरी हमें याद सब. So always remember, right? So there are so many things which happens and you have to handle. So sir, got placed just because of you. Thank you, Sarang. Thank you so much for your hard work. Okay, so now I'll take our next question. I think I have given a long speech on this one.